The first reading of the bill is dispensed with, and the bill is considered as read and open for amendment at any point. I now recognize myself for a statement on H.R. 6865. I'm pleased to call up and speak in support of H.R. 6865, the Coast Guard Reauthorization Act of 2022. This is bipartisan legislation to reauthorize funding for the Coast Guard for fiscal years 22 and 23, and to address other important issues affecting the maritime industry. The bill under consideration today is a result of productive and bipartisan negotiations with Ranking Member Graves, Chair Carbajal, and Ranking Member Gibbs. I'm glad that they have all joined as original co-sponsors of this important legislation. All of their thoughtful contributions have been included and have improved the bill and are much appreciated. In fact, we've worked extensively to include in this legislation several bills introduced by members of the committee from both sides of the aisle, and I want to thank them as well for their contributions. As we all know, the Coast Guard continues to suffer from insufficient funding. In recent years, this has resulted in a $3 billion shoreside infrastructure backlog, a lack of ice-breaking capability in the Arctic and the Great Lakes, as well as reduced capacity across several essential missions such as maritime safety, search, and rescue. The legislation marking up today works to address those deficiencies. I'm pleased to note it provides more than $12 billion for the Coast Guard for fiscal year 2022 and $13 billion for fiscal year 2023. These authorized funding levels track increased appropriations over the past 2 fiscal years and the highest authorized funding levels for the Coast Guard in recent memory. The budgetary increases should ensure the service has resources needed to take care of its service members and augment the capability to operate new assets such as the polar security cutters, offshore patrol cutters expected to come online in coming years. I'm particularly pleased that we've increased authorization for procurement, construction, and improvement account to $3.3 and $3.48 billion for 2022 and 23 respectively. This level of funding should enable the Coast Guard to maintain its ongoing recapitalization programs, including making progress on building new polar security cutters, addressing $3 billion backlog in shoreside infrastructure, and deferred maintenance. Last Congress, the committee passed into law substantial safety measures for large and small passenger vessels. This legislation builds upon that work by increasing safety for fishing vessels, amphibious passenger vessels. H.R. 6865 also improves oil spill response and prevention by bolstering vessel response plans, ensuring underwater pipeline safety by requiring that vessels that anchor utilize monitoring systems to maintain their location, prevent drift. And H.R. 6865 includes vital protections for mariners to address a disturbing culture within the industry where seafarers are subjected to an environment rife with cases of sexual harassment, sexual assault. Every person deserves to feel safe in their profession, whether on land or at sea. In October, a midshipman was brave enough to come forward and share the trauma she lived through during her sea year as a student at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Her bravery has sparked a tidal wave of change for the Academy and for the industry at large. But there is more to do. Not only is it our responsibility to help protect students fulfilling their sea year requirements, also our responsibility to help ensure a safe working environment for all mariners out at sea. H.R. 6865 includes language which will give the Coast Guard more leverage to investigate, remove predators who perpetuate a culture of sexual harassment and assault, requires companies to report incidents to the Coast Guard, ensure proper investigation takes place. It also includes important safety measures such as surveillance, master key control systems, and extends the statute of limitations for cases of sexual assault and harassment. This groundbreaking legislation is just one step in bringing justice to these victims and getting predators out of the industry. In closing, let me once again thank Ranking Member Graves, as well as Coast Guard Subcommittee Chair Carbajal, Ranking Member Gibbs for cooperation, drafting legislation. Look forward to continued collaboration as we move this legislation forward. I now recognize Ranking Member Graves for his statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I too want to thank you and Subcommittee